Good morning class, Sairam. Today we are going to study the topic combination of errors. Here you can see the first combination is error of a sum or a difference. In this portion you can read that there is some activity in which it is saying that suppose you have a zigzag line in this way and you want to measure its length, then what is the way to measure its length? In that case you have to take a thread and you have to connect this thread on this zigzag line like this way, and then you will take that thread and you will stretch it, then you will measure its length. That will be length of this zigzag path. Okay, so when you will perform this activity there are some possibility to get some errors. So it is called error of a sum or a difference. Means from here to here you can consider we have one portion, then here to here we have second portion, then this is your third portion. Okay, you can say this is your portion number A, then portion number B, and then portion number C, like that. So here it is saying that error of a sum or a difference, we have to measure that. So suppose we have two physical quantities, that is A and B, and in the measurement of A we have this much error, that is delta A plus minus delta A, while in measurement of B we have error plus minus delta V. This much error is possible when we measure B. And these delta A and delta B are called absolute error. As I told you in my last class that these are called absolute errors. So to find error in sum we can say it delta Z, then sum is denoted by Z equal to A plus B. In that case suppose there is some error in summation, that is delta Z. So we will write in this form that Z plus minus delta Z equal to A plus minus delta A plus B plus minus delta B. So maximum possible error in Z will be delta A plus delta B, because we don't have to consider negative sign, we have to consider only positive one. Only then we will get maximum error. Similarly in difference also, when it will be asked to subtract two physical quantities, like subtract B from A, then you will write Z plus minus delta Z is your answer, and that will be first physical quantity A plus minus delta A minus second physical quantity, that is B plus minus delta B. Then it will become A minus B and plus minus difference or summation of errors. But to get maximum error we have to add delta A and delta B. So what is the rule? That when the two quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error in the final result is the sum of the absolute errors in the individual quantities. For example, you can consider this one, example 2.8. It is saying that we have two temperature, say T1, and T1 temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. You may consider this is temperature of one room, and error in this temperature is plus minus 0.5 degree Celsius. Similarly you have another temperature or temperature of another room, and its value is 50 degree Celsius, and possible error here is plus minus 0.5 degree Celsius. Means this much error is possible when you measure your temperature. So calculate the temperature difference and the error there within. So how we calculate temperature difference? For that you have to subtract the actual values. You have to find their difference, like 50 and 20, their difference is 30 degree Celsius. But for error you have to add both the error, that is 0.5 and 0.5. It will be 1 degree Celsius, and you will have sign of positive and negative. Means 1 degree plus and 1 degree minus, both possibilities are there. then we have to find error of a product or a quotient. So suppose you have Z equal to AB, then in multiplication we can say that Z plus minus Z will be equal to the first quantity, that is A plus minus A, multiply by second quantity B plus minus delta B. Then if you will multiply both the terms, you know that first term will be A into B, that is AB, then error multiplied by B, that is B delta A, then we will have A delta B, that is first term, and final step is multiplication of error, that is delta A into delta B. So here in this process, if you will replace value of AB or value of Z, that is AB, then it will be cancel out. AB to AB will be cancel out. And now you have to divide LHS by Z as well as RHS by AB, because Z and AB both are same. In that case you will get this 1 to 1 has been cancelled out. Here you will get delta Z by Z, first term, and here B delta A, this B delta A upon AB, you will get delta A by A. Similarly here you will get delta B by B, because if you will divide it by AB, A to A will be cancel out and you will get only delta B by B. And here if you will divide it by AB, you can write in this form also, that is delta A upon A into delta B upon B. Now we know that delta A and delta B are very small because these are just errors. So we will ignore this term, that is multiplication of delta A into delta B, because this will be very less. So our final answer will be delta Z upon Z equal to delta A upon A plus delta B upon B. This is our answer for relative error. And to get maximum error, we have to add both the errors. And the same formula will be applicable for division also. Okay. So what is the rule? When two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in result is the sum of the relative error in the multipliers. Now we will try to understand the same concept with the example. Here it is saying that R equal to V upon I. We know that by Ohm's law V equal to IR. So R equal to V upon I. So it is saying that voltage value is given by 100 plus minus 5. Means 5 is the possible error value. And current is given by 10 plus minus 0.2. So this much error, 0.2 ampere error is possible in measurement of current. So it is saying that find the percentage error in R. So we note the formula that here both quantities are given in division pattern. So in this case also our final answer comes out to be delta R by R equal to delta V by V plus delta I by I, because both answer are in positive negative, but to get maximum error we have to add both the error. And if you will multiply on LHS by 100, you have to multiply on RHS by 100 also. So this value is given, that is delta V by B into 100 is 5. Okay, 5 by 100 multiply by 100 plus delta I by I, that is 0.2 upon 10. This is 10 and multiply by 100. You will get this one as a 2% and the first value is 5%. So overall answer will come out to be 7%. Next example we have that resistance is given by 100 plus minus 3 and second resistance is given by 200 plus minus 4. So both are connected in series and then in parallel. We have to find the equivalent resistance and with possible value of error. Okay. So here you can see that in series the formula for equivalent resistance is R1 plus R2. So first value is 100 plus 3 and second value is 200 plus minus 4. So total answer will be 100 and 200, that is 300, and plus minus 7 because both error will be added. Second, in case of parallel combination, we know the formula that equivalent resistance R dash equal to multiplication of both resistor divided by summation of resistors. So multiplication will be 100 multiplied by 200 and summation will be 100 plus 200. So it will be 100 into 200 divided by 100 plus 200, that is 300. So it will come out 200 by 3, that is 66.7 ohm. Now for error we again have to look for formula. Original formula is 1 by R dash equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This formula you must have read in your class 10th. So error here will be delta R by R square. If we will solve this, we will get error formula, that is delta R by R dash square. Okay, and here you will get like how you get this formula. Okay, let me tell you. If you will differentiate on LHS and RHS, then differentiation of R dash will be equal to R minus dash and okay, and its differentiation will be d upon dr, and differentiation of this will be 1 R minus 1 minus 1. Okay, that is 1 by R square. This is how we differentiate the physical quantities. So the same concept has been used over here. So differentiation of 1 by R1 will be 1 by R square and delta R1. So and second term will be 1 by R2 square delta R2. If you are getting difficulty in differentiation, then please see that lecture. There you will learn how to differentiate these physical quantities. So I am not repeating that concept here again. So final answer will be delta R dash is delta R1 by R1 square, the first term, multiply by R dash square. Okay, and this R dash square will be multiplied here also, that is R dash square into delta R2 by R2 square, and this delta R2 is mentioned over here. Now we have to replace their values. So R1 dash square is our parallel equivalent resistor and this resistance is 66.7. So we will replace over here and its square, and R1 is first resistor, that is 100 square, and delta R1 is error in first resistor. Similarly here also you can understand, let me clear it. The first term you can see, that is R dash square. R dash, remember, that is equivalent resistance and its square is 66.7 whole square divided by R2 square means original resistance square. So it is 200 and their whole square, and this delta R2 means error in second resistor, that is 4% or 4 you can say absolute value. Here it is mentioned 4. This value has been taken. So if you will solve this, you will get your overall answer, that is 1.8. So final answer will be 66.7 plus minus 1.8 ohm. Okay, so now we have third category, how to find error. And in this category, suppose if your physical quantity is given in the form of raised power, that is Z equal to A square. So basically you can see that this A square can be mentioned like A multiplied by A, and we know that measurement or error in measurement of A is given by delta A by A into delta A by A. So you can write it 2 times of delta A by A. Like here you can see it is given delta A by A and this much. Similarly, if you have formula for a, or you can say if you have general equation like a raised to the power p, b raised to the power q and c raised to the power r, in that case you can write in this form also. Like this power p will be mentioned over here, p times delta a by a plus q times delta b by b plus r times delta c by c. Why we are adding it? Because we have to find maximum error. So what is the rule? Rule is that the relative error in a physical quantity raised to the power k is the k times the relative error in the individual quantity. Like here a was individual quantity and our answer is p times of error in that individual quantity. For example, if we have any physical quantity like z equal to a raised to the power 4, this is a raised to the power 4 and b raised to the power 1 by 3 and upon c raised to the power 1 and d raised to the power 3 by 2. Then relative error will be delta z by z equal to this a raised to the power 4 means 4 times delta a by a plus 1 by 3 times delta b by b plus delta c by c because we have one power only plus 3 by 2 times delta d by d. So if you will replace all the value you will get answer. Here we have to find just expression, so this will be our answer. Then we have last example here that we have you can say we have simple pendulum and its time period is given by this formula. It is mentioned over here. You don't need to worry from how we will get to know that t equal to 2 pi under root L by G. This will be given, okay. And its measured value of L is 20 centimeter. It is given that this length of the thread or wire is 20 centimeter, okay. It known to be 1 mm accuracy. This is the possible error, and time for 100 oscillations of the pendulum is found to be 90s. So using a wristwatch or you can say stopwatch, and its resolution is 1 second. Then it is asking what is the accuracy in determination of G. So first of all we have to solve this formula that t equal to 2 pi under root L by G. From here we have to find value of G. That will come out this one. Why? Because getting this value of G on LHS, because we have to find error in measurement of G. Then we know that time period of oscillations is given by total time you have observed divided by number of observation. So if you want to calculate error in time period, that will be total time or error in total time divided by number of observation. So you can write delta t by t. Remember this delta t by t is time period, okay, and this is total time because we are measuring it for 100 oscillations. So if you will apply this formula delta g by g equal to this much, then here error will be delta g by g equal to the first quantity delta L by L, because 4 pi square is constant, there is no possibility of error. So first is delta L by L, second will be 2 times of delta t by t, but remember this is for one time period. So delta L by L is error in length, that is 1 mm. If you remember it was 1 mm, it was given in problem here, okay, and 1 mm you can say it is equal to 0.1 centimeter, and length is given by 20 centimeter. So we will write 0.1 centimeter by 20 centimeter. This is our value of delta L by L, the first value, and second is 2 times of delta t by t. Delta t is error in measurement of time period. So it is given that 1 second resolution, means 1 second error is possible divided by total time. And remember this delta t 1 second is basically what? This resolution is in 90 second, means total time. So we will write it delta t by t, that is 1 second error in time period of 100 oscillations divided by time period of 100 oscillation, that is 1 by 90, and then you will multiply it by 2 because here we have t square and our final answer will come out to be 0.032. So if we want to measure the percentage error, we know that we have to multiply this value by 100. So our answer will be 3% or 3.2%, you can say. Okay, so this is our answer. So this is all for today. In next lecture, we will see the topic significant figures. Okay, thank you. Sai Ram.